Welcome back on the Good Morning Artesia radio show. Linda walked in on my rant.
And I was like, well, I know what this is going to be like today.
Well, it really irritates me because, they're evil people in Washington running this government right now.
No, they're totally incompetent.
No, they're evil.
Well, that too, but beyond
if they were
incompetent.
If they were incompetent, they would at least stumble into the correct thing to do from time to time.
You really think they would
Yes.
be capable
If they
of
were
that?
incompetent.
Okay.
A broken clock is
right twice a
day. Okay?
Yes.
They are not incompetent. They know what they're doing. And the plan is working. The plan is to make purchasing gas so uncomfortable that we will finally start buying the electric cars.
Well, I saw a thing the other day. It says, all of the gasoline taxes theoretically go to road repair.
Right.
All electric. Then apparently they're going to figure out how many miles you drive with your electric car each year so they can tax you based on that.
Of course.
But if they would just figure out what all that they use or what all that is manufactured, that it has petroleum in it, they might be real surprised.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they haven't even thought about that.
Well, no, what they have thought of, no, they've thought of all that.
Do you really
Again,
think they're smart enough to think about that?
I am telling you, these people are evil.
Well,
they know all of this. They're not worried about all that part of it. They're worried about the emissions.
Oh, good.
Okay,
grief.
it doesn't have anything to do with the petroleum products that are needed to manufacture the things that are in the vehicle. They're solely focused on the emissions because that's destroying the atmosphere. The methane that leaks from all of our natural gas production is destroying the atmosphere. The methane that comes out of the back of cows.
You know what? It
is
comes out of the
destroying
ground, too.
Well, absolutely.
Just because.
Absolutely. But so that's what they're focused on. So, yes, they acknowledge that it takes petroleum products to make the electric car. But once you buy the car and you use the car, you are no longer polluting the atmosphere.
Yeah, but do they figure out where the petroleum comes from? You have to drill.
Right. Well, but no, there's enough.
All of this.
Right, but if we all went to electric cars, then the demand for the petroleum product would drop to where the amount of petroleum that we're producing now would meet the demand because we will have decreased the demand because we will have stopped buying.
Everybody can just go to electric cars next week.
Yeah.
You couldn't manufacture that many of them. Who could afford it? There are people that are very lucky to have, and I'll call it a junker, and I've driven ones. There was one I drove one time, we called it the bomb. But, it got me from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Not everybody can afford a $70,000, $80,000 vehicle.
That's right.
They're lucky if they can buy food. And I hate when Joe Biden sits up there and says, oh, I know how the American people feel about the gas price. I got a news flash. Stinky rich people like that have no clue what it's like to pay $4 a gallon.
That's right.
Or $5 or $7, wherever you live.
Wherever it is.
They have no concept.
That's right.
Because it's all provided for them. If he even is capable of driving or competent enough to drive.
Oh, he's got a Corvette. He's got a classic Corvette. He's a aficionado of classic cars. He's ridden trains most of his career.
Well, I was thinking he has somebody else pumping gas for him.
Yeah. I don't know. He may know how to pump gas.
Does he
I don't
even
know.
have an electric car?
I bet he does.
You think?
I bet he does.
Well, we should find this out.
Yeah.
But no, they have no concept. How many years ago when gas went up like this? And I was saying, and I've told the story, when my daughter and her husband were in military there in Norfolk, Virginia, there were other families, people that one was in the military and one was working, and they had kids. Well, the one that was working had to quit his job or her job to stay home and take care of the kids because they could not afford gasoline and child care.
Right.
You could take one or the other, but you couldn't do both.
Yeah.
That is wrong.
Yeah.
If you want to work and you have a job, you should be able to do that and buy gasoline and food to be able to get there.
You would think. But this is why I think these people are evil, because they know all of that. And what they're trying to do, and what they're convinced that they have to do, is they have to get the mindset of the average person out there to understand how they are killing the planet through their normal everyday lives and activities, and how if they don't get us into the mindset that evil, oil is evil, oil is bad, oil is killing the environment, I've got to run out and buy an electric car. And some of this is just from economic pressure, too, because you've got these car manufacturers that are under an enormous amount of pressure from the government and from the environmentalists and from the woke people within their organizations to have to make electric cars. And you've got normal adults that are saying it's not economically feasible. We can't do this and make any money at doing this. But we have to do it to keep the environmentalists and the woke people off of our back. And so they're saying, they're going back to the government and saying, all right, we've done our part. We've announced all of these electric vehicles we're going to be introducing over the next 4, 5, 6, 7 years. You better make sure that we can get our money back, that people will buy these things. And so the Biden administration and the environmentalists are saying, fine, the way we're going to do it is we're going to create conditions that cause the price of gas to go up. And then people will say, well, this is stupid. I'm going to go buy an electric car.
Yeah, are you going to plow your field? Are your tractors going to be electric?
Oh, they're going to have to be. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And how is that going to work?
I know. I'm just being facetious, but
no,
yes.
but seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have battery electric trains.
I do not want to get an electric plane and fly across the ocean.
Well, understand, if we get the cars off the road, if we get the gas cars off the road, then there will be enough oil for the planes and the trains.
No, but if they're demanding electric so we don't have emissions.
Yeah. I'm just telling you, this is how evil these people are.
But,
this is not incompetence. This is not stupidity. This is pure evil. This is Marxist, communist evil.
Yeah, and you cannot blame it on Ukraine or Russia invading
No, they're trying
Ukraine.
to. They're trying to.
No, because the gas prices were headed up.
Before
the minute
that.
Biden got elected, he started jacking them up.
That's right. Well, as soon as he took office and he killed the pipeline and he canceled no more new leases on federal lands, now he's doing a backdoor grab of leases on federal lands. If you don't start producing, we're going to take it away from you. Your lease is going to expire. So it's a backdoor grab. At the end of the day, they're going to suck up all of the leases that aren't in place.
Yeah.
They're going to blame it on the oil companies for not utilizing them, but in the meanwhile, they will have achieved their goal of eliminating all oil activity on federal lands, which is what their target is, what their goal is. And so, no, they're not incompetent. They're evil. They're evil people.
Isn't it amazing, though, how what you would say normal people, theoretically, some of them, got elected and all of a sudden take on this totally different persona of illogical, warped, evil ideas.
Yeah, well...
And you would think, just because you're a Democrat, what makes you that way? I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
How did you decide that this is the right thing to do? I'm going to be a Democrat, and this is what comes with it. Why?
Well, I would say that there's a lot of Democrats that don't think the way that the woke left does, but that's what the party has shifted to.
Yes,
Give you an example down in Florida. The governor signs that bill, parental rights bill. I mean, the woke teachers can't start indoctrinating first and second and third graders into transgenderism and all this other crazy stuff until at least they get to fourth grade. And Disney has come out, we're going to get rid of the governor. And they're finding out that even the people that work at Disney, the majority of the people that work at Disney don't think that way, don't think the company should think that way. I mean, they can't even say ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls at Disney anymore. They've eliminated that. If your kids go to Disney, you take your kids to Disney, they are now called dreamers. So they're not even
I think
allowed.
I'll just go back to bed today. And
Yeah, they're
put the
not even
covers over
allowed
my
to
head.
say, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blah, blah, blah. That's gone. They can't say that. They're not allowed to say that anymore. So when you go to Disney, it doesn't matter. You're a dreamer when you go to Disney. And we're seeing this all throughout
That is
the whole society.
beyond stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It is beyond stupid.
Yeah.
You know, you would say a normal person, like, say, well, they're probably rolling over in their grave. What is God thinking that has happened to his creation?
Yeah.
You know, there are two genders. I hate to tell you this, but one's a boy and one's a girl. Get over it, folks.
And that's science.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a biologist to understand
Are they
that.
going to put restrooms and places now for unicorns? Oh, today I identify as a unicorn, or you know, a prickly pear cactus. That's just exactly as stupid as what they're doing right now.
No, I agree with you entirely. And I think what's sad is that most of this, where it's manifesting itself, is men saying they are women and then competing against women.
Yeah.
So
and winning the prizes. Because
prizes.
your muscle structure and your bone structure does not change. I don't care what you chop off.
That's right. We're not seeing this massive amount of women
Competing in men's
sports. Why is that? Why aren't there women
Because your brain
transgender
cells
swimmers?
still say, I don't want 300 or 400 pound people piling on me in a football game.
I
It's going to
understand that.
hurt.
I'm not saying there's none of that going on, but that's not in the news. We're not reading about it. We're not seeing it. We're not hearing it, but we're hearing
There's
about.
bound to be a few somewhere.
Yeah, but we're not hearing about women going into the men's bathrooms.
No.
We're hearing about these boys and these men who are identifying as female.
Yeah.
And they want to go into the girls' restrooms.
Yes.
And they want to swim in the girls' pool, and they want to be in the girls' locker room. And most people are looking at it and they're going, something's not right here. That doesn't seem right. Something seems wrong about that.
Gee, you think?
And all that. Hey, we're going to try to brighten Linda's day with maybe some happy news.
Yeah, I walked in here going, whoa.
So we'll do that on the other side of the news. This is KSVP Artesia, K229AS Artesia. Thanks to Sylvia and everybody at McDonald's. And by the way, and I don't have one today because I didn't know this, but the pull-apart donuts are back at McDonald's. So anyway, we'll be back on the other side.
This hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason.